The rain fell in relentless sheets that late autumn evening, each droplet a hammer against the small town of Riverside. Winds roared through narrow lanes, rattling signs and sending spray splashing against the windows of a modest veterinary clinic at the road's end. Inside, Dr. Emily Carter, once a military physician, now a veterinarian, wiped tired smudges from her goggles, her muscles still humming from a long overnight shift. Riverside had become her refuge, a place to rebuild after her past life shattered. Yet even in the calm light of the clinic, the storm's fury pressed close. Then she heard it, a tentative scratching at the door. At first, she blamed a loose branch, but when the sound came again, steady and pleading, she crossed the tiled floor and turned the knob. What she saw made her heart freeze. An old German shepherd stood in the downpour, black and grey fur plastered against its ribs, shallow puddles forming around its trembling paws. Rainwater dripped from its muzzle, but its eyes were fixed on her with a desperate intensity. Between its worn teeth it carried a sodden bundle of cloth. Emily's breath caught. She knelt, her palm hovering over the dripping package, and gently peeled back the layers. Inside, a newborn baby lay curled, skin tinged blue, gasping for every precious breath. A small, crumpled note slipped free. Please protect my baby. I have nothing left to give. Without a second thought, Emily lifted the infant into her arms, tucking him against her chest as she stepped back into the warm glow of fluorescent lights, and that loyal dog limped quietly behind, his mission only just beginning. The baby's tiny chest rose and fell in shallow arcs, each rasping inhale a testament to survival. Emily wrapped him in soft blankets, murmuring soothing words as colour slowly returned to his cheeks. His breath steadied into a fragile rhythm, a small miracle, she thought. Reaching for her phone, she hesitated. Every instinct urged her to alert the police, but before her finger brushed the screen, a firm tug at her pant leg nearly knocked her off balance. Startled, she looked down to find the shepherd's teeth lightly clamped on her trouser cuff. His eyes glowed not with exhaustion, but with urgent purpose. "What is it, buddy?" she whispered, but the dog did not bark. He hauled again, muscles taut, pointing her toward the door. Emily glanced through the rain-splattered windows. Outside, the storm showed no mercy. Still, she couldn't ignore the look in that dog's eyes, that unwavering certainty of someone who knew where to go and whom to save. Quickly, she donned her raincoat, wrapped the baby in the driest blanket she could find, and followed Murphy into the tempest. Each step was a gamble. The pavement gleamed with slick menace, and Murphy's uneven gait spoke of aching joints. Yet he strode onward, weaving through shadowed alleys and past shuttered shops as if guided by an invisible thread. At last, they came upon a worn wooden bench in the town's small park, lit by the lonely flicker of a street lamp. Beneath its pale light sat a young woman slumped forward, hair plastered to her face, lips parted as though she had tried, but failed, to call for help. Emily knelt, sliding the baby beneath the woman's coat, offering a fragile shield against the chill. She found a pulse, a faint flutter but unmistakably there. Lena Parker, mother now to this newborn, was alive, though barely. One hand dialing for an ambulance, the other tugged off Emily's coat to drape around the trembling stranger. All the while, Murphy settled at Lena's feet, his greying muzzle resting on her boot, eyes focused on the life he had guided back to safety. Lena once dreamed of simple things, a cosy house with flowers on the porch, the laughter of her own children floating in the breeze. At 24, she and her husband Michael, gentle, quiet with grease-stained hands, had mapped out every detail, from the colour of the nursery to the pattern on the curtains. But 2 weeks after Lena discovered she was pregnant, Michael was diagnosed with aggressive liver cancer. Hope became a whisper. One by one, their life fell away. His toolbox vanished in medical bills, her wedding ring pawned for prescriptions, the furniture gathering dust in an empty living room. 5 months later, Michael slipped away, and Lena was left alone in a house filled with unpaid bills and hollow memories. With no family to lean on, Lena drifted. Town to town, she picked up odd jobs wherever she could, sleeping under bridges, in shelters, or on benches beneath a fickle sky. It was on a warm August afternoon in Riverside Park that she first met Murphy. Though she didn't know his name, she sat on a cracked bench, one hand cradling her belly, the other holding half a loaf of stale bread. The old shepherd watched from a distance, head cocked, as if weighing every crumb. Lena torn the bread in half and held out a piece. Murphy took it gently, then sat beside her in respectful silence, a quiet understanding passing between two souls worn thin by love. From that moment, he followed her wherever she roamed, a silent promise that she wasn't truly alone. Before destiny dealt this final hand, Murphy had another life. He was once an elite 9 search and rescue dog, trained to pick out human scent in the harshest conditions. He had guided rescuers to stranded hikers, to children trapped beneath rubble, his loyalty forged in the bond with Officer Jack Miller, handler, friend, family. But one afternoon after heavy rains, thunder startled Murphy on a hillside walk. He bolted, paws slipping on sodden earth, and plunged into a swift churning stream. When he clawed back to shore, the woods were silent, without Jack's voice or scent. Alone he pressed on, driven by training, hungry, following the faintest trail of home. Then came that evening in the park. Lena's pale figure beneath the flickering lamp reawakened something deep in him, the same drive that once pushed him through avalanches and collapsed tunnels. From that moment on, his mission changed. No longer was he searching for a man who had vanished. He was guarding a mother-to-be and the life inside her. Night after night he lay at her feet on that cold bench, ears attuned to every distant footstep, every rustle of leaves. When Noah finally came into the world, wailing and red-faced, Murphy's devotion only deepened. On the stormy night Emily first saw him, Murphy's last act was to cradle baby Noah in his mouth, careful as if holding his own heart, and carry him through the rain to the clinic that still glowed with warmth. He refused to leave the door, pouring softly each time the baby cried, asking the only question that mattered. Is he safe? Emily realized then that Murphy, Lena and Noah were bound irrevocably. No orders, no rewards, only a love that asked for nothing in return. By morning, the tale of the brave young mother and her guardian angel in a dog shape had reached far beyond Riverside. Emily, moved by their story, posted a photo of Murphy's gentle eyes locked on baby Noah and shared Lena's journey. Within hours, the clinic overflowed with donations, formula, diapers, blankets, and envelopes stuffed with cash and handwritten notes. A local grocer offered Lena steady work. A retired carpenter volunteered to transform the clinic's back room into a cozy suite for mother and child. What began as a desperate scramble for survival became a symbol of compassion as the community rallied to rewrite their fate. Over the first winter, Lena and Noah found warmth not only in the newly renovated room, but in the everyday kindness of neighbors. Lena's part-time job stocking shelves brought stability, and each evening she returned to a son who grew stronger with every sunrise. And Murphy, no longer lost, no longer alone, became family. Each morning he sat by Noah's stroller as the boy took his first wobbly steps, then rested close by, watchful and proud. Then, on a bright spring afternoon, fate dealt its final card. A familiar voice called, "Murphy, is that really?" There stood Jack Miller, his eyes shining with disbelief and relief. He had followed the news stories, traced Murphy's journey, and come searching. Murphy turned, nostrils flaring as he recognized that first bond, then glanced back at Lena and Noah. Without hesitation, he stayed by their side. Jack knelt, stroking the dog's graying fur. "This is where you belong. I won't wait," he whispered. Lena's voice trembled with gratitude for Jack's understanding, for Murphy's new home. From that day on, their circle grew. Jack visited often, helping Lena settle into her new life, strolling with Murphy and Noah through sunlit parks. No one lost anything. They only gained a larger family, woven together by loyalty, resilience, and the invisible threads of love. And so in the quiet town of Riverside, a single mother, her newborn son, a retired canine hero, and the man who first believed in him found not just shelter, but a true home, held safely in the arms of a community that chose to protect them all.